Okay, guys, how am I doing? Um, so I just went to go through and reframe um the whole abortion thing. Um, I want to talk about that a minute. So I had a comment on here, and I appreciate the comments about basically saying, correct me if I'm wrong here, but basically saying, you were lonely when you had the abortion and you're lonely, you were lonely with your husband, and now you're not as lonely because you don't have your husband. So, when I had the abortion, I went through and I reframed this after watching Matt Walsh because Walsh was talking about how you were a mother. And I it wasn't even acknowledged to me that I was a mother. Nobody acknowledged like you're a mother. It was just don't tell me you're pregnant and you're in trouble. And yes, like this person said, I did get totally slut shamed and I was treated like total trash. And the thing is, I was put back on the pill. So it was okay to sleep around, or have boyfriends or whatever, but not get pregnant. So, so now you want to reframe it, ladies. You want to reframe your story because you now have more truth. So when there's more truth that comes your way, you want to reframe your story. So I was like, holy cow, wait a minute, let me think about this. I was a mother in high school. So here I am at 16. It's not just an abortion, it was I was a mother. So as you reframe that, it's like, wait a minute, I was a mother, he was a father, our baby was killed, this was sophomore year, and it's like, wait a minute, you know, I went through losing my child, then I went through a beating, basically getting thrown around. And I'm thinking of everything I went through, at 16, and I don't even remember my 17th birthday. I have no memory. I went from sweet 16 to no more memory of my 17th birthday um to dating Mike, and then I was dating my husband. And as I think back to everything, I think back at dating him, and I was done with Mike June 88, and I was dating my husband by June of 88. It was just boom, we were friends already, so let's date. So as I think about this, I think what carried me through too is not only Mike was a whole new experience for me, but my husband, I was over there at the house swimming in their pool, the pool constantly with my husband playing Van Halen. Um, we had so much fun together. And then I was thinking about when the summer ended, um, in 88, we were in school together for a whole year, 88, 89. I was given a car. My mother tried to cheer me up with clothes. She took me to Manchester by the mall in New Hampshire there and tried to buy me clothes to make me happy. She gave me a card that this will pass. I still remember those words because it was up and down with Mike. It was like one minute my mom's like, yes, you're okay with him. You can date him. Maybe you'll marry him. And then she's like, no, you're not supposed to be around him. I mean, I got dragged out of the video arcade. I got dragged out of the dances. I mean, just a lot with my mother. Even when I was in like seventh and eighth grade, I wasn't even doing anything wrong. And my friends would be like, why do you have to go home early all the time, Melissa? So I'd get dragged out of the school dances. So my mother and I mean, she was just like, with boys, just like, holy cow, it was crazy. So, I'm thinking, so we were dating June of 88. We were in school together. We were passing notes around. We were best friends. Um, so 88 to 89, I'm like, okay, so, I graduated June 17th, 89. He was still in school, and then he was like, I'm sick of school, I'm quitting. And, I'm just thinking about everything we went through and how we were there for each other. So when this person commented and said, hey, you were lonely with him and now you're not as lonely basically without him. Um, that's not quite true because I wasn't lonely with my husband. We had a language that you couldn't really understand. We just understood each other. It was like Adrian and Rocky from the movie Rocky, when he's like, I got gaps, you got gaps, we fill each other's gaps. That's how it was with my husband. It's just like we were just made for each other. So, when I think about like, all this stuff, we had a kind of like, we had a good start, but it was rough in some ways. It's just like, yeah, no, my husband was the only one that I felt like who really knew me. So, as far as being less lonely without him, no, I mean, I kind of feel like, geez, if anything, I'm more lonely without my husband. I mean, I can have people around me, and yeah, you, like she said in this comment, you can have people around you and you don't trust them. So, I felt like after the abortion, I felt like never again will I trust people after this. And it was just one thing after another. And then my boyfriend broke into my home, and it was just crazy. And then, I think about this and I'm like, holy cow, Melissa, you were a mother. You lost your baby and nobody helped you. No one helped me. No one at all. So, when I think about things now, I'm just like, you and your husband me and my husband went through so much, but we were there for one another. And that is what I will be thankful for. I am not going to persuade my husband in any way. If he wants a divorce or if he doesn't, I'm not going to be part of that. That is going to fall on him. I am not going to the courts and having like a show put on. I'm not going to be dragged through the mud. I'm not going to allow other people to be dragged through the mud. So this is on him. I mean, if he wants a divorce, he has it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. So it's totally on him. But it does make me sad that my husband was the only one that like knew me very well, extremely well. So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on now. I just, you want to reframe your story, ladies, reframe it and put truth in there and be like, okay, it wasn't just I was pregnant. It was I actually had a baby that was killed, and then I still went to school and I still graduated early. And I think, give yourself some grace. Like, how in the world did you get through that? How did you get through all that stuff and still graduate early and still do a good job and then go off to college? And you had all that crap to put up with when you went through college. And, I just think you have to have a very strong sense of yourself, ladies. Even with everything happening around you, you have to know yourself well and just have a strong sense of who you are. And I think I had that. I think I just had that, and that's what got me through it all.